Isolation. Stay away from all the subway stations. Now's the time to limit your isolation. This is info for your conservation and observation. I am at my home. I am all alone. I am at my home in isolation. Isolation. Time for practicing your masturbation. Sorry that you canceled your vacation. It's not just you, it's the whole entire nation. In isolation. I am at my home.
I'm at my home.
I am all alone.
I'm all alone.
I am at my home.
I'm at my home.
In isolation. My constipation in isolation has really helped my toilet paper situation. Should hold up depending on the duration that they keep us in isolation. I am at my home.
I'm at my home.
I am all alone.
I am all alone.
I am at my home.
I am still at my home.
In isolation has really helped my toilet paper.
Isolation.
A conversation we should have with every single generation. The older people need a working vaccination. The younger people aren't afraid of decimation. I am at my home. I am all alone. I picked up the phone.
Hello.
And I said hello.
Hi.
Isolation breeds agitation. Unless you find a way to get some inspiration. Make a creation, film a claymation, or just eat chips and talk to friends while on PlayStation.
A little boy on the road. I said, hey man, you shouldn't be alone. I said, maybe you can give me a phone and then I can help you call home. You can't be more than 4'4", and I think it's about to get dark. You said I'm 36 and I think I'm okay to walk through this park. And that's when I realized you should never judge a person by the size. And that's when I realized you should never guess an age with your eyes. And that's when I realized you should never judge a person by the size. And that's when I realized you should never judge an age, never judge an age with your eyes. Never judge an age, never judge an age. I saw a girl the other day. I bumped into her when I was on my way. I said, little girl, let me know what brings you to the mall here all alone. She said, maybe 'cause I'm 52. I've got my whole life hating damn people like you. That's when I realized you never judge a person by the size. That's when I realized you should never guess an age with your eyes. That's when I realized you should never judge a person by the size. And that's when I realized you should never judge an age with your eyes. Never judge an age, never judge an age.
Isolation, stay away from other subway stations. Now's the time to limit your relation. Information for your conservation and observation. Isolation, time for practicing your masturbation. Sorry that you canceled your vacation. It's not just you, it's the whole entire nation in isolation.
We believe we should confront anxiety with a clear plan to deal with its root causes.
Just before we get to questions, I'm supposed to model healthy behavior. Model healthy behavior. Nice and sunny, but a little brisk.
My constipation in isolation has really helped my toilet paper situation. Should hold up depending on the duration. I have to stay in isolation. Isolation, a conversation you should have with every single generation. The older people need a working vaccination. The younger people are afraid of decimation.
Listen, Canada is a modest country. We know we can't solve these problems alone. We know we need to do this all together. We know it will be hard work, but we're Canadian, and we're here to help. And it's our job as your government to do justice to that compassion and to that kindness that you show to one another each and every day. We can build a better world for our kids and grandkids. This is who we are. This is what we believe in. This is Canada.
Isolation breeds agitation unless you find a way to get some inspiration. Make a creation, film a claymation, or just eat chips and talk to friends while on PlayStation. Station.
This song has no lyrics, has no lyrics. This song has no lyrics, has no lyrics. This song has no lyrics, has no lyrics. Give me lyrics, for this song, for this song. This song has no lyrics, has no lyrics. This song has no lyrics, has no lyrics. This song has no lyrics, has no lyrics. Give me lyrics, to the song, to the song. This part is where the verse goes. This part is where the verse goes. This part is where the verse goes. No shine, no lyrics, no lyrics. This part is where the verse goes. This part is where the verse goes. This part is where the verse goes. No shine, no lyrics, no lyrics. This song has no lyrics, has no lyrics. This song has no lyrics, has no lyrics. This song has no lyrics, has no lyrics. Give me lyrics, for this song, for this song. This song has no lyrics, has no lyrics. This song has no lyrics, has no lyrics. This song has no lyrics, has no lyrics. Give me lyrics, for this song, for this song.
Maybe a rap part comes in here, I'm not sure, it's not clear. Maybe it would sound weird if we don't do a rap part. Maybe we do a verse that sounds similar to the first, so it would sound like this part is where the verse goes. This part is where the verse goes. This part is where the verse goes. No shine, no lyrics, no lyrics. This part is where the verse goes. This part is where the verse goes. This part is where the verse goes. No shine, no lyrics, no lyrics. This song has no lyrics, has no lyrics. This song has no lyrics, has no lyrics. This song has no lyrics, has no lyrics. Give me lyrics, for this song, for this song.
He came in as the champion, the defending champion on Monday. Will he leave in 30 minutes from now as the champion? All right, Erica and Walt, You're here today to stop him. He's a nice guy, but you can do it. Good luck. Here we go. Jeopardy round.
Hi, welcome to There's Always Jeopardy. I'm Pat.
And I am Jan.
Jan, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty well, Pat. Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Yeah, you know, it's up and down, but I'm feeling good today.
Good.
What's going on with you?
I had a really productive day. I actually left my apartment today.
You did?
Huge news. And I showered.
You didn't leave your apartment to shower?
No.
No.
I left my apartment, went for a big walk, came home, showered. Now I'm here.
Oh. And what was that big walk like?
It was pretty nice. Like it's a bit cool here today, but the sun was out. I walked along a lot of like very quiet residential streets. I was listening to an audiobook. It was very pleasant.
Oh, that is very nice.
Yeah.
When I was walking my dog this morning, it was snowing.
Yes.
And then I went up there and it wasn't.
No accums. There's no accums on the ground.
No, we're safe from accums.
Yeah. Now, Pat, let me ask you, because yesterday we were talking about you had this big tomato sauce delivery.
Yeah.
What did you have for dinner last night? Anything saucy?
Can I tell you, this is going to sound insane.
I love it.
We had ravioli. We got this nice ravioli from like President's Choice, this really nice ravioli. But we decided to not have tomato sauce with it.
That's amazing. What did you do? Like some butter?
Some oil and stuff, right? How do you make that? It's just olive oil and Parmesan. Just olive oil and Parmesan cheese. It was delightful.
That's delicious.
It's already got tomato in it, actually. It's an heirloom tomato. This is me cutting into a piece of ravioli. I don't know why I definitely had to do that to see the red part in the middle.
It's much clearer to me now.
Yeah, just a soft push on the fork into the ravioli.
Yeah.
And then you're seeing like a bit of red in there.
I actually thought of you last night, Pat. Sorry?
Oh, you got that nice picture in your head now?
It's going to carry it with me for a long time. But I thought of you because when we worked together so many years ago, we one time spent your birthday in Winnipeg.
Yes.
And we went out to the spaghetti factory. Yeah. I know that you're a spaghetti enthusiast, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I made spaghetti over the weekend, but I had a bunch of like white spaghetti that we didn't eat and we didn't put sauce on. And yesterday I beat it with some eggs and some Parmesan cheese, and then I put it in the oven, and it was like a spaghetti omelet.
Oh, was it nice?
Like, I really want to share this with Pat and Maggie.
Oh, that sounds very good. I saw somebody post yesterday that because there was this like New York Times article that had like easy to make recipes on it and like a carbonara and some other stuff, and I saw Steve Fisher posted that he made it and it was so gross he threw it out.
I posted today actually on my Instagram that the spaghetti we made on the weekend I made using the New York Times tomato sauce recipe that has no garlic in it.
Oh, really?
And I could it was fine, but like it just wasn't for me. But everybody was going bonkers over it.
No, get some garlic in there.
Get some garlic in it.
You know what we did last night? We did because we're just trying to do new stuff all the time, right? Just trying to do something to make our nights feel different.
Sure.
You know? Yeah. So we've decided Tuesday nights are culture night.
Oh my God, that's so good.
Last week we watched on some like Broadway streaming service. We watched like a concert of like just a bunch of people doing Broadway songs. It was pretty cool.
Oh, lovely.
And then yesterday we did one of these like museum virtual tours.
So good. What museum?
The Salvador Dali Museum in Catalonia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it was wild. Well, it seems like a really nice museum, but they're like the technology isn't there yet. You know, it's like a 90s video game. It's so easy to just walk into the wall. You know what I mean? Or get stuck in a corner.
Is it because also they underscore the tour with oh, melting watch.
And because Maggie was operating the thing, and it was so hard because you just want to get a better look at a picture, and then you zoom in way too far out or whatever. And I was like, oh yeah, that's how you are at museums.
Yeah.
I was like, let me get a better look at this, and you just run back and come in. Yeah, it was pretty fun.
That's great.
But yeah, not user friendly enough yet.
Right. The technology, I'm sure, is new. Perhaps they pushed it once this started.
Yeah.
Like once the whole lockdown started, they're like, we got to get this on the market.
Yeah. Now on to Jeopardy here. Because I was just looking at this. I pulled up this list right before we started recording of the highest winnings on Jeopardy.
Right.
And which I guess will end up being a list of people we try to get on this show. But because again, I still can't believe that we had Seth Wilson. That was insane.
My mind is still blown. I still just kind of like before I go to bed think about it and go like, wow.
I know, it's really weird. So Ian, I was just discussing with you before we went to tape here that Alex notes at one point during the game that we're reviewing today that Seth becomes the 5th most winningest champion in Jeopardy history. Now that hasn't stood. Now he's the 9th.
Right.
There's Ken Jennings, James Holzhauer, Jason Zuffranieri, David Madden, Julia Collins, Matt Jackson, Austin Rogers, Arthur Chu, and then Seth Wilson.
Hey, Buzzy didn't make that list?
Buzzy's not ahead of him now. Especially since it seems like his mom likes Buzzy more than him.
Yeah, eat it. Eat it, Mom. Eat it, Mrs. Wilson.
But that's exciting. What did you, we're 10 games into this winning streak.
The big D's.
Yeah, yeah. It was,
nobody says that.
Yeah, nobody says that. I was just going to let it slide, but that's not a thing. What did you think of this game?
I thought this was a fun game. I thought there was there were quite a few like fun categories.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, like Seth didn't just like walk away with it. He didn't run away with it. Like Seth, like during gameplay, he like went to a Volvo dealership, put a down payment on a Volvo, came back to the studio, hung out for a bit, and then just drove away in his new Volvo with this game.
Yeah, he just had no real competition here. Though I really liked both of these contestants.
Me too. I thought this was like such a fun interview round.
Yeah.
I think like both of these people, Walt and Erica, like they just both seemed very fun. Their hair was both very fun.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think like that was like a really fun part, but I can't wait to get to the interview too, because like I feel like Alex had a lot to say in the interview.
Yeah, I'll just list the topics here real quick. Quitter, which was people who have quit Twitter.
Which I thought was so strange.
It's a strange topic, but I guess
it felt like we were reaching for topics that day in the writer's room.
I know. I felt like they wanted to ask a Jaden Smith question, and that was the best way to do it. Quitter, books and author.
Yeah.
The Civil War, big city newspapers, oot and a boot, which just means that the word has oot in it, O-O-O-T in it. Sweeping the nation. That was the first round, and I thought, well, one of my favorite moments in this episode was in the oot category. To the question, this is like an Australian marsupial.
Yes.
Erica buzzed in real quick and then realized that she didn't have the answer. And was like, kangaroo. But of course,
which I thought was so endearing and so ballsy.
Yeah.
Because you're in a room like with probably like the like most well-versed like trivia minds in the country, on the continent. And most people play the game very seriously. Like when you see someone kind of give a bit of a lighthearted answer, it's like very endearing.
Yeah. They just she just knew that she blew it.
Yeah, for sure. And I thought Oh, sorry.
yeah.
I thought too, Sweeping the Nation was very nice, and I thought kind of prescient because it was kind of a salute to custodial staff workers.
That's true.
And I thought that was very good because I feel like that's something that we should be doing right now for all the custodians who are like just working away to keep things clean and safe for us. So
absolutely.
There's always Jeopardy salute there for you.
Yeah, big time. They're people that don't get talked about enough. I mean, like there's a lot of hospital staff, for instance, and people talk a lot about the nurses and the doctors, but
that's right.
But the janitors over there are definitely putting themselves in the same kind of risk. So
yeah,
so that's good. Double Jeopardy. We had alliteration all around, biology, Canadian provinces, which of course couldn't be easier for us. History is theater, eponymously yours, and we sell fun. It's a pretty fun game.
Yeah. Yeah, like the categories were really fun. Like I thought the gameplay was actually really fun. Like for a game where Seth just like drove away in his Volvo, like I was still interested.
Yeah. It was fun. Well, I guess let's go to the stories.
Erica Dreisbeck is from Chicago, Illinois. Once had a job doing planetarium shows, and that had some influence on how you proposed to your husband.
That's right. My wonderful husband, Vlad, when I knew I wanted to marry him, I knew if I wanted a big romantic proposal, I was going to have to do it myself.
Uh-huh.
We're not really jewelry people, we're not really watch people, but I thought if I got a treasure of some kind.
A prop from the planetarium?
Not quite. But I went to a rock shop nearby, and I got a piece of a meteorite. And so I said, this meteorite traveled unknown millions of miles, it's unknown millions of years old. Will you marry me? He said yes.
What connection does a meteorite have to a proposal of marriage?
It's just cool.
Oh. Right. Walt Livingston, graduate student from Essex, Maryland.
That's right.
For your 50th birthday, your wife surprised you.
She took me on a totally surprise trip to the Grand Canyon. I didn't know where I was going until I got on the plane, and they said where. I hid my eyes at the podium. She gave me some disinformation. Did Ralph mention anything about Seattle? She's good like that. She's awesome.
I've discovered that with Erica. Look at that. Meteorite. Crying out loud. Yeah. Seth Wilson is our champion, ladies and gentlemen. But he, I don't know about his workplace. Didn't one of your co-workers ask you to dress as R2-D2 once?
Yes, I had an exceptionally attractive coworker who told me one time it was Halloween, and she said, I'm coming as Princess Leia, and I wanted to know if you wanted to be, and I assumed she was going to say Han Solo, and I had visions of, being the hero, and so I was nodding, and she said R2-D2, and I'm pretty sure my face melted, and I said, I already have a costume planned, I'm sorry.
And you came as Chewbacca?
I came as disappointed school teacher.
Oh.
That day.
All right. Pick up that signaling device and make another selection for us.
Twitter for 600.
Yeah, I loved all these. I love the meteorite.
Yeah.
I loved how she was like, I just went to an old rock shop around the corner. Pardon me?
Well, so much of this story, I was really trying to piece together because she worked at the planetarium, but it didn't really have anything to do with her romance with her husband, her boyfriend at the time. She got this rock. I feel like Alex roasted her a bit too, and she was like, no. It was super romantic, I promise.
Yeah. She was just like, he was like, well, what's the connection? She's like, it's cool.
We're fine. I have blue hair. It's great. I'm a bit of a kook, but I loved this woman. I thought she was for someone who was so low in the numbers in the game. I thought she was just so cheerful through the whole episode.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. She was being destroyed. Yeah. But she seemed to be having a fun time.
Yeah, and I think if I ever got to go on Jeopardy, that would just be me. I just wear a full T-shirt that said "Ready to lose," and just be like.
Yeah, but I thought there would be some sort of significance to their relationship. But she didn't have anything to say. Connection. It's cool. Yeah, okay. Sorry, great
Alex just gives her a full right, like the elongated eye on the right, which I thought was just classic Trebek.
I also like the surprise trip to the Grand Canyon. That's it's really nice, but it's just an interesting thing to surprise somebody with.
Yeah,
I always wanted to go to the Grand Canyon.
Until you get on the plane, like that is some serious planning. I believe Walt's wife is like a Dennis King level trickster because that's like a lot of planning. And he like was saying, and I gotta say, he said he went for his 50th birthday. I wish to God I look like Walt when I'm 50. This man does not look 50.
I know, and he looks really relaxed.
He looks so relaxed.
I really liked Walt.
I love him. I wanted to give Walt a big old squeeze. I love him. And I thought he was really smart. Like he was like tearing through a lot of categories, but just couldn't keep up with old Seth.
He just happened to land on the Seth run, you know what I mean?
Yeah, boo hiss.
And then, of course, poor Seth got asked to be R2-D2. And don't get me wrong, I love R2-D2. I love it. But yeah, you want to be Han Solo.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want a pretty girl to be like, hey, can you be the trash can that beeps?
And follows me around. Is that cool?
I like that he said that he had a costume already planned, but then showed up on the day as disappointed teacher. Like, didn't feel the need to, like, keep up the ruse. Like, he didn't show up as, like, I don't know, Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean. Like, it's just like, well, I have this V-neck.
What? He just came as like C-3PO. No, I already have a costume. Thanks.
But I thought that was a really, really wonderful story. I mean, like, you know, like Seth, and I think your brother was saying this too, to come up with like those stories, those like one-liners. And now he's had to come up with 10.
I know. He's, you can feel, this one was okay for a story.
Yeah.
There have been a couple where you're like, okay, he's just like trying to find anything. Like my mom calls me to talk about Jeopardy. Like, that's not much.
But I think for number 10, this was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
I think if I was Seth, this would have been in my top 5 for sure.
Yeah, I know. You'd figure he'd be dry by now, but no, it's good. It's good.
He's the gift that keeps on giving, this guy.
We'll see what he's got left for us. The final Jeopardy question. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Corporate logos? I didn't know. I just don't think that so it was like, it's been likened to a wing. It's from 1971 and it shows motion. And the answer was Nike, as you know, you got it.
Yeah.
I didn't think of it. It doesn't look like a wing to me.
But you know what's so funny? Because I almost thought Delta too. And I don't even know, because Seth guessed Delta. And I guess it's because we're soul twins. But like, I don't even know what the Delta logo looks like. But when it was like, it looks like a wing, I was like, oh, maybe it's an airplane thing, Delta. But then I was like, oh, but they didn't say flight. They said movement. And that's what pushed me to Nike.
Nice. Can we just circle back to you being soul twins?
Yeah. Did you want to talk about that for a bit?
Yeah, what's that like?
It's great.
Did you have to have some kind of test done, or?
No, just it's just something you know.
Pretty good. Overall, I also liked, right before the Final Jeopardy, Alex said, bet a lot, Seth.
I know. And I couldn't figure it out, like, because like you were saying, like, Alex talked about him becoming the 5th most winningest champ.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, is he saying bet a lot so like the other guys have a chance at like evening out the score if he's wrong? Or does he just want him to win a ton of money?
Yeah, I think he just wanted him to get ahead in the money numbers.
It was cryptic, but
I think I've never seen that before, Alex. Like rooting somebody on. I mean, like bet a lot here, buddy. It was sweet. I liked it.
Yeah, I thought that was good.
He was positive that Seth was going to get this one, and he did not.
Yeah. And like sometimes you look at these and you're like, well, Nike, like it's a pretty easy one, but the clue was quite deceptive. I don't think anybody got it.
Nobody got it. No.
And here's one more question for you, because Seth was in the lead by like, this might not be right, but like $20,000.
Yeah.
Like in the second, like even going into second Jeopardy. What is it called? Double Jeopardy.
Yeah.
And it almost felt like he was like hanging back for the first little while. Do you think that Seth would be like, just gonna let these guys try and catch up a bit?
I mean, I'm not sure if he had any kind of strategy like that, but that's interesting to think about. Just playing a little nice.
Like just nice?
Yeah. Just being like, I got this. So.
You know what? That's something my soul twin would do.
Well, then I'm sure that is what happened, because you would know that from your insides. Great. I think we, before we wrap up here, I think we have a caller today.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Dan was saying we had a caller. Is that, we have them on the line?
This Dorothy's Bornak from the Golden Girls?
Arthur?
Hello? Oh, no.
Oh, it's Sharon.
It's Sharon. That's a Dennis King level prank right there.
Do we got Dennis King running the controls here?
You got Dennis.
Sharon, are you there?
He's not the only one that can prank. Did you think I wasn't here?
Sharon, we were very confused for a minute.
I'm the queen of confusion.
Oh, you are.
That's what I've been told by my children.
Oh, and your children must be so proud of you.
Some of them, yes.
How many children do you have?
6.
6. And there are some that are not proud of you.
2.
Well, that's a pretty good batting average, I suppose.
2 of them are upset because I broke up their marriages, but it's honestly for the better. They're happier, but they still blame me, you know?
Sharon, there's so much to unpack here. What?
Well, for me, it's about happiness, and if you're going to be happy and hate me, I'd rather that than you live with a demon for your whole life, you know?
Yeah. No, I think
it feels good. Right. It actually feels good to talk about.
Well, glad to be here for you.
Sharon, why don't you tell us a little bit about your journey to get to Jeopardy?
Okay. I guess I started watching Jeopardy with my mother.
Oh, that's
okay. Oh, we're starting at way back. Okay, yeah.
My father and mother would watch Jeopardy together, and we'd all sit there and we'd eat, food fluffs and different things like that we all had.
What's a food fluff? I'm sorry to interrupt, but
it's a mixed fluff. It's like the fluff from all the foods, and you put it in a bag so you're not to waste, right?
Right. Just a
fluff. And at night, you sugar them and eat them while watching Jeopardy. So
okay, cool. Yeah. So when you were a girl, that would have been in the Fleming years, right? That was before Trebek was hosting Jeopardy.
That is right. I'm surprised you know that.
We actually host a show about Jeopardy, so
that's true.
We know a couple of things.
You're right. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm an idiot.
No.
Sure. Yeah. I remember when you were on Jeopardy.
That's right.
You seemed to get kind of flustered when you were telling your story. Did you feel that way?
Well, yeah. I've always wanted to meet Alex. And meeting Alex was, imagine meeting Jesus Christ at the peak of his day. And he looks at you and he says, "Tell me a short story." I don't know, Jesus, I don't know. I stopped. It was like deer in the headlights, and I was imagining him naked. I was imagining kissing him. I was imagining all these things at once. And
it goes on at 6:30. So I'm just saying that in case it it gets messier.
Yeah.
Well, this is the problem. I had to stop it from getting messier, and I kind of froze.
Oh, you were going to get pornographic right on Jeopardy.
I was in my own world.
Okay.
And I get that.
I don't remember what I said.
Well, you were talking about how you worked in blood services for the
See? No, I
Veterans
don't.
Bureau.
No, I don't.
Oh, you were very flustered. Yeah.
I think I read something about blood services earlier that day, and it was the first thing that came to my mind.
I thought maybe you would tell a story about how you got your jewelry on a cruise ship.
That's right. I should have, but Alex chooses the story he wants, right?
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I have to say I've commented on it before, but the puka shell necklace earring combo, I really enjoy it. I think it's such a pleasant look.
I actually made them for my niece, and she regifted them back to me.
Well, that's nice of her.
And
because they suit you great.
Yeah, she's probably always wondering why am I mean to her, right? Well, that's why.
Better to be happy than live with a demon, right?
Bingo bango.
Bingo bango.
Sorry to circle back here, Sharon, but you said that Alex picked the story. So that means that you did write down that you worked for blood services.
Right. Well, I was thinking about him, and listen, the whole experience, the second I got on set, I was useless.
Okay, so you just didn't know what you were even writing down.
I drank a cup of Cheerios, and I literally thought it was liquid.
Oh, wow. Yeah, okay. You were messed up that day.
Knowing all of this, your performance during the gameplay is even more impressive.
I was in a zone. I just, yeah.
Yeah, I thought you did quite well in the actual game.
Well, it was all about impressing Alex, right?
Of course.
For me.
And do you feel like you did that in the end?
No.
Oh, so I'm very sorry.
I lost.
Yeah, we saw you lose, yeah.
I said bye to him, and he just kind of, he slapped my hand and said, try better.
Well,
were you trying to touch him when you said goodbye to him?
Yeah, I was like about to touch his ear, and he slapped my hand pretty hard, and he just said, try better. And so
we've heard a lot of stories about how you're not supposed to go anywhere near his head.
Right. And that's what I mean. The things that you're not supposed to touch are the things that are most tempting to touch, right?
Yeah.
It's like his head was a red button. Might as well have been a red button.
Yeah. We
sure.
hear that a lot about Alex.
Yep. It's a weird life we all live,
So what else is going on? Have you ever auditioned for any other game shows before?
I did audition for one other game show. It did not go well. Okay. It was Bumper Stumpers.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
And
Canadian game show.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was too obsessed with asking if they were real license plates.
So you didn't cotton on that they were joke license plates written specifically for that show.
Each one was correct.
Right.
And so you didn't make any guesses. You just, when you saw a license plate, you go, is this
real?
Is this taken?
Oh, you wanted them.
There were so many good ones. Oh my gosh.
Sharon, I have a question for you because the spelling of your name is so interesting. I believe it's something like Sherren. Is that meaningful in any way? Is that is that something? Sharon Lee Gibbs.
Right. And then you might notice I sometimes go by Dorothy.
Yes. For a while there, the little crayon said on the phone, Dorothy.
And it's because I feel like I exude a Dorothy vibe.
A specific Dorothy?
No. Just the Dorothy vibe that I think most Dorothys feel. And I just kind of tell people, you know what? If you want to call me Dorothy, I get it.
Okay. Yeah.
So I encourage it.
Sure.
You've just always felt like a Dorothy.
Exactly.
Do you ever feel like a dot?
Yes.
Okay.
All the time.
Good to know.
All the time.
Well, I just think you're a lovely, fetching woman. I'm really glad we got to speak with you today.
And I think you're beautiful. I think you're beautiful, Jan. And Pat, I love your champion's hat.
Oh. Thank you.
And that's a beautiful laugh. Is that your wife?
That's my wife, yes.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah, Pat also
Maybe the real giggle monster over there.
Yeah, she is, yes.
Pat also has a very young son.
Oh,
Larry.
young son, Larry?
Yes.
That's beautiful. Well, Pat, good luck. I'm sure you make a great dad.
Oh, thanks, Sharon. Dorothy.
It's up to you. Who cares, right?
It's just the party vibe you're coming in with, Sharon.
Exactly. Thank you, Jan.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I think that's it for me. I have nothing else to say.
Well, thanks so much for calling in, Sharon. It's been great.
Thank you. Thank yourself.
Okay, I will.
Thank you.
I will. Yeah.
Yeah.
You do that. Bye.
Okay. Wow.
How do I get off this thing?
Yeah, there you go. That was great. We had Sharon come by.
Sharon, everybody.
Yeah, we've been wanting to talk to her for a while. She was fun.
Oh, she's a treasure.
She is. Well, we're I think we're only a few games away from the end of this Seth Wilson run.
I know, it's kind of going to be sad, I think.
I think so too.
He's become quite the constant in an otherwise kind of amorphous day.
Yeah, but when we're out of Seth, there's still more Jeopardy. You know, there's always Jeopardy.
That's why the show is called that. I get it.
Well, it's been lovely talking to you, Jan, and I got to go watch Jeopardy. So I'll talk to you later.
Have a great one.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, baby under the couch. Nice.
I'm Seth Wilson. Be sure to watch There's Always Jeopardy at 6:30.
Although it was not a runaway for Seth in yesterday's game, he was.
Hey, everybody. That was There's Always Jeopardy. Join us every day here on Twitch, Twitter, Periscope, YouTube, Facebook Live. And don't forget to tune into the DG Special live from Alcatraz tonight at 8 o'clock right here on the Comedy Bar Toronto Twitch page and DGS Productions. Facebook Live, Twitter, Periscope, YouTube. See you later.